Oh man, Kid Goku's finally out? Let's give him a shot. Oh man, I can't wait to finally play as one of my favorite.
My body might be smaller now, but I'm still the same Goku.
No, you ain't!
Son Goku, I can only imagine how you must yearn for this body even more now.
Boy, if you don't get
Alright, look. So originally I was going to make a video about how much fun I had with this new Goku GT DLC, which, by the way, is a character that I've always wanted since Dragon Ball Fighterz was announced. I'm really glad he's in the game. He's so much fun. I love the little references that they included from the original Dragon Ball manga anime and the GT references that they put in there. I like to kind of mishmash the two because it's kind of like the best of both worlds for Kid Goku, but sadly, in my opinion, the voice is the lacking part, at least in the English department, right? Now, let me go ahead and say something. I have nothing against the voice actress Colleen Clinton Bread. I probably said that so wrong. I am so terrible at names. I apologize for that. But I feel like, in my opinion, and based on the reactions that I've seen on the internet as well, I'm not alone in this. Her voice doesn't hold a candle to what Stephanie Natalie, I believe was her name. I'll put it in the description below. She doesn't hold a candle to what her performance was back in like the early 90s and 2000s. Stephanie, she had this unique voice, right? She gave like this whimsical little boy, you know, little gruff tone of voice, you know, that perfectly suited Kid Goku, right? And even to the extent of Gohan, right? Now modern age, you know, like 2009 or so up above with like the redub of Kai and stuff, because Stephanie, for one reason or another, I think she retired from Funimation, don't quote me on that, but she doesn't necessarily officially do any like Dragon Ball stuff anymore. So obviously they had to get somebody to, you know, recast her roles, and they got Colleen. And honestly, let me just say, way back then, people were like, ugh, you know, Gohan doesn't sound like Gohan. But like, I've personally, she's, I guess over the years, she's kind of taken the role of Kid Gohan and done a good job with it, even though some people might say that her portrayal might be too, like, I guess the best way I can say is like squeamish, too kiddish, but then you think about it and you're like, that's kind of what Gohan was early on. And I'm not gonna get on the teen Gohan thing. Let me just stop right there. But I don't think that voice necessarily translates to Kid Goku. Because how they did it in the original dub of Dragon Ball Z, they basically, so Stephanie was originally the voice of young Gohan, up to teen Gohan, and then, you know, when they decided to dub Dragon Ball, apparently the you know, directors or whatever told her like, hey, you know, you already voiced young Gohan, why don't you go ahead and voice the younger version of Goku, because apparently they wanted them to sound the same. And well, what do you know, they do sound the same, but as, like, you know, Stephanie advanced in her role, she really got the hang of like young Goku. She made him so dumb, so what's the word I'm looking for, naive and stuff, and it's like honestly the perfect role for him. It's just great. There's like, it's just a unique take on the character, and me personally, that's just my favorite interpretation of the character. And it's also one of the many reasons why Kid Goku, in my opinion, is one of my most favorite characters in Dragon Ball. I'm not the most, I don't know, I'm not the biggest Dragon Ball fan, period, but like, I don't know what it is with me personally. I just seem to like kid characters. Like, for example, I like Kid Goku and I like young Link in Smash Brothers, right? I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because I grew attached to them when I was younger, and I still think they're cool characters. That might be what it is, but I just, I'm a little surprised that Funimation didn't call out Stephanie for, I guess, like a little callback to say like, hey, we have this like fan servicey character, we got like, Goku GT, because I know that people in this community, in this Dragon Ball Fighters community, do not want another Goku, right? And they wanted Super Saiyan 4 Goku, right? But I think the blow would have been a little my words are failing me. Mellow it out if they brought back like the OG Kid Goku voice instead of the I'm just gonna refer to it as the Kai Kid Goku voice, because there hasn't, to my knowledge, been a new redub of the original Dragon Ball. I don't think, in my opinion, there necessarily has to be one. Thus, I think again, no disrespect to the actress Colleen, but I don't think she's had enough time to put her take on the role of Kid Goku, because she hasn't had as much time as Stephanie did, and I don't like it, man. I really that's just me. I don't like it. So I just want to say that, why am I, complaining to you guys about this, right? Why does it sound like I'm just in a nicer tone of words verbally complaining to y'all simply because I don't like the way this character sounds and wish things were like, the way things were in the past, right? Well, I sat on this and I've come to the conclusion that I think it's best for us to move forward and not dwell on the past, on what should be current, right? Let me explain as best as I can in my broken English, right? Over time, things change. For whatever reason, an actor and actress will, let's just say, retire from their role for whatever reason, or they may not want to do the role, or the company won't hire them for whatever reason. Just some general statements on what could happen if, say, like, you like the voice of somebody, but they don't reprise their roles in future projects, right? My main message for this whole video thing is that even though Stephanie is not the voice that I'm pretty sure the majority of us wanted, because, hardcore Dragon Ball fans were made in like the 90s, right? And like Stephanie was a part of that, and we would have loved to hear her voice in Dragon Ball Fighters. But because they got, the in-house Kai actress, which, no disrespect to her, I just personally don't like it. I'm personally gonna be, this is the what is it, the straw that broke the camel's back, that is gonna make me switch to Japanese dub for this game. And I think there's a good majority that's gonna be like, oh, you should have stuck to Japanese dub anyways, Japanese is like infinitely better than English. But then I just want to say that, like, you had to be there, right? I was legit born with all this like high action stuff, right? And these characters and their voices are engraved in my head, and if they don't sound the way that I want them to, well, then that's gonna irk me a certain way, right? But honestly, it's no big deal. We'll always have the VHSs, the DVDs. We can go back, I guess, in legal streaming services, whatever ways we can to indulge ourselves in the original dubs of these series that we like. And it'll always be there. Just because that, newer projects will use different voices doesn't necessarily mean that we can, I guess, not enjoy what is, given to us. Even though there's a small thing, that's just so broken. Even though there's a small thing in there that isn't the same as it was back then, hey, we always have the things that we had back then that we can go back and enjoy, right? So that's generally it. I just want to let people know that don't beat yourself over that, like, oh, this voice is like awful and I'm gonna boycott whatever the heck. Just switch over to the Japanese dub and we can go ahead and enjoy like the work of Stephanie and everyone else that you enjoyed in the past. So that's basically gonna be it of this ramble video. How do you guys feel about Kid Goku's voice in Dragon Ball Fighters? Do you guys enjoy it? Are there any other voice actors in any other types of medias that you wish that reprised their roles? I'll give another one for example. This guy's retired. Ah, shoot, what's his name? I'm gonna butcher the name. Mark Gaida, something like that. Oh man, I'm so awful. He basically voiced Domon Kashu in G Gundam, and his voice, he's got like the iconic screams, right? That's another thing that Stephanie really nails. They got the iconic screams, and Colleen, she basically, it's not like, you know, Kid Goku screams a lot. Goku screams a lot in general, right? Colleen just sounds like a kid screaming, but like Stephanie, when she does it, she does like a heroic, you know, yeah, you know, stuff like that. I don't have to explain it. If you've watched this stuff before, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, let me know in your comments what you think about all this, and let me know if I'm being too petty. I don't know. This is kind of all new to me. So I'm gonna end it right here. Thank you all for watching. If you want to continue this discussion, you want to take this outside, you can do that on Twitter. My Twitter will be linked in the description. It's at anime72, just like my YouTube name. And yeah, thank you again for watching. And before I end this, I just want to do a little call out. There's always the PC version. There are so many video games and anime sound bites that you can do to put Splice and Stephanie's stuff into like this Fighterz PC game. I got some Washington Bills right here. If anybody wants to make a English Stephanie mod for Kid Goku, that's all I'm gonna say, right? All right, I'm done with this. It's gone on long enough. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.